Hey everybody, Blaine Austin here at Sewing Machines Plus, and welcome to our Thursday live show. And we got a very special treat for y'all today. We have Rosemary Keene on, and I don't know if y'all remember Rosemary or not, but she's worked with us a lot through the years, and she is an expert when it comes to sergers, and especially the Baby Lock sergers. So we're going to dive in to a little project with her today and talk all about the Triumph and the Baby Lock Triumph Serger. But before we get into all that, I got a lot of stuff to talk to y'all about. And I got to say a big shout out to some of the SMP Nation watching today. I tell you what, we have Samantha Lima. She is in Lake Jackson, Texas. Everybody, do you know where Lake Jackson's at, Andrew? Everybody say good morning to Andrew. He's in here with me this morning. And Kyle is out sick. So we've got a bunch of people around the office is getting sick, and everybody's falling. They're falling like flies, aren't they, Andrew?
Yes, they are.
So Lake Jackson, Texas, a lot of people don't know where that's at, but it's south of Houston, Texas. And I've actually been to Lake Jackson. So, yeah. And we have Edith Fletcher. She's in Oakwood, Virginia. So, hey, good morning, Edith. Well, actually, it's good afternoon to Edith now. We have Nita Hughes, Bias. She's in Pagos, is that? Pagosa Springs, Colorado, right? Pagosa Springs, Colorado. And then we have Linda Way. She's in Fredericksburg, Virginia. We have, I can't see it, Paula. Is it Pelton? Pelton. And she's in Palm Springs, California. I'm going to be over there near you, Paula, this weekend. My wife and I, Michelle, we are going to Palm Desert.
Oh, I love Palm Desert.
Over there this weekend to do a dog fostering or adoption.
Oh, okay.
We've been Michelle's been fostering a dog, and so she's taking it to the adopters. So they live in Palm Desert. So we're going to go probably through Palm Springs. I think we're going to take the interstate all the way. Joy Myers in Southern Illinois. So that's a big, broad spectrum there, Joy. Southern Illinois. Could be East St. Louis, which is in Illinois. So see, I'm from Arkansas, Joy, just down below the Boot Hill, Missouri. So I kind of know all that area pretty well. Anyway, let's talk about some dates that are going on. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. And this actually next week, y'all remember I was always talking about the Stitch and Switch event. So the Stitch and Switch event, we sold that out. We have two events back to back because the first one sold out, so we put another one on. That is coming up next week here in the San Marcos, California, our retail store. And it's going to be a great time. We've got all these national educators coming in. We're going to be playing with all the top-of-the-line machines from 6 different brands of machines. And it's going to be a really cool time. And if you signed up for it, I can't wait to see you. If you didn't, you missed out. And you'll have to try to do it when we do it, next time. But we've got a lot of great things coming up. So let's talk about our regular Thursday show. You see it right there. Next week, we have Lisa Archer going to be on next Thursday with Pickle Pie Designs. And then right after that, we got Joanne Nielsen with Brewer. We're going to talk about the Brewer Goat Totes. And then on February the 27th, we have Nicole Moore, Churn Dash with Quilt Block Pattern. And that'll be on. Now, the Takeover Tuesday show on the 11th, that Tuesday, next Tuesday, we have Carly Bell going to be on. You see the 4 stars right there on your screen. Carly Bell's the third one. So you got Jane, you got Becky, Carly, and Joanne Banco right there in order. Carly's going to be February the 11th. Joanne Banco will be coming on February the 18th. And then Jane Klaus will be on February the 25th. And so that's kind of our Takeover Tuesday shows, our Thursday shows that are coming up. If y'all want to mark those down on your calendars, Carly's on February the 18th. Joanne is February 8th. Carly's February 11th. Joanne's February 18th and Jane's February 25th. So every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central time, we have our Takeover Tuesday show. And then naturally every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Central, we have our Thursday Live with me. And we invite y'all to come and watch both shows. We do a lot of stuff and always doing some giveaways on Thursdays, don't we, Andrew? Also, got to talk to you about some of the big festivals coming up. Quilt Fest. Everybody loves Quilt Fest. It's going to be here before we know it. Quilt Fest is going to be March the 10th through the 14th. And we are in full Quilt Fest mode right now. We've been working on that really hard. We've just about got the schedule completed, and we'll be posting that. So you can see who all's going to be on and all the different products. Right now, I don't know if it's launched yet or not, but I think the product page for the event is up. I think it's launched, but quilt submissions have started. So if you've got a quilt out there, you can you look real quick, Andrew, and just see if the page is up? Go to the event page on our website and see if she's got the block. Lauren has been working on it really hard, trying to get it ready. But the quilt submissions, as soon as the website's working, the quilt submissions will start. So you can actually take the pictures it tells you to take of your quilt. I think it's 5 pictures they require. And then you send it. It shows you a place to send them in. You send those in and we start posting all the submissions. And what we do is you can do all the submissions all the way until Quilt Fest starts. So basically on the 9th, I think it's the submissions end. Is that the new page?
I believe so.
Does it say 2025?
Yes, 2025.
All right, so the page is up. So you can actually go on there and it'll show you what to do. There's the rules, how to do your quilt, get your quilts up. It is open, so I encourage y'all to enter a quilt because we got some really cool prizes we're going to give away for the winners. We have professional judges that are going to judge the contest, and we'll give 1st through 3rd place for the professional judges. And then we're going to do a People's Choice Award, which is basically a popularity contest. See how many of your friends you can get to go vote for yours, and it'll be a lot of fun to see who gets that. But we do a People's Choice Award, and it's basically just who votes on yours. And we'll give everybody, the winners get trophies and ribbons. It's really cool. We give those big county fair ribbons away, the red, white, and blue big ribbons. We give those away 1st through 3rd place for the judge's choice. So it's a fun time. We're also going to give away prizes throughout the show, and we're going to give away a Dream Studio giveaway worth $25,000. And every single day, we're going to pick a finalist. And a finalist will go into the final drawing. There'll be 5 people in the final drawing to see who wins it. But all the other 4 go home with a minimum of a sewing machine. So they're going to get a prize as well. So it's going to be a good time. Can't wait. Got Jane Klaus is going to be coming in, helping me co-host again. And we've got a lot of great educators and things coming in. All right, after Quilt Fest, we're all the way into April, and we are going to have our Serger Soiree again. And it is going to be the April 10th through the 11th. Now, do you know what a soiree is, Andrew?
I don't know what a soiree is.
So he has no clue. Everybody tell him in the chat what a soiree, I think that's how they pronounce it, soiree. I think it's French.
It sounds French. Yeah.
You can't cheat and look.
I will not.
Let the SMP Nation educate you today. So everybody put in the chat right now. Tell Andrew what a soiree is. You seen it yet?
It's a party.
It is a Serger party. You got it.
Fancy party.
It's a fancy party. So we're going to have that 2 days. And this year, it's only going to be Baby Lock. So we're having Baby Lock in the house for 2 days for the Serger soiree. And we're going to try to go through almost the entire line of Sergers that if we can, for those 2 days of that Baby Lock carries and give it. We're going to have some great specials on all the Sergers and do some cool giveaways and things. So y'all make sure you mark that down to April 10th and 11th. We have, guess when? We're already in May. Hey, and we're going to have my birthday bash.
Yeah, we are.
It's an annual thing. It's called Blaine's Birthday Bash. It's going to be on May the 8th. My birthday is the 11th, which is Mother's Day this year. But the birthday bash is going to be that Thursday, May 8th. We'll have that. And then guess what we're talking about next, everybody? It's June 9th through the 13th. It's Hoop Fest.
Hoop Fest.
So I've already started working on Hoop Fest. Can you believe it? It's already in June. It's coming up. Things are this year is already flying by already. But it's all about embroidery. It's going to be a great time as well. So we can't wait for that. All right. I think that is all the business we're going to talk about today. Now our business is going to be talking about Rosemary Keene. I tell you what, I don't know if y'all know her, but she is a leading expert when it comes to sergers. I'm telling you, specifically Baby Lock. And I've worked with Rosemary throughout the years, and just a pleasure to work with. Extremely talented. And, you know, she's one of those people that I think she might have been the one, Rosemary can correct me if I'm wrong when she comes on. I think she's the one that told me if she only had one machine that she could have, it would be a serger, because she could do almost all her sewing with a serger. So that tells you how good she is with the serger. So y'all give a big SMP welcome to Rosemary. Hey,
Hi,
Rosemary.
everybody. Thank you.
Are you the one that told me that?
I believe so, because
I was thinking that you were said if you had one machine, you could only have one machine, it would be a serger, because you could do almost all your sewing with a serger.
almost everything, because it does have a straight stitch as far as the chain, but I can do so much of it, and I use it more than my sewing and embroidery machine because I can do so much. And so you can make something in a project so quickly as compared to a sewing machine. You know, I like having both because they both go together, you know, like a oven and a stove top, but the serger is my preference, and that's why I've been doing this for about 25 years now.
Yeah.
And,
You know what?
better.
I've got a funny experience. The first time I ever, you know, really sewed on a serger, you know, I was trying to figure it out. Nobody gave me a lesson. Nobody taught me anything. I just got there. I was like, one day I was like, I'm going to learn how to do these sergers. And after, you know, breaking 2 needles, I finally figured it out.
Yeah, it takes a bit, you know, when you're first doing them. But, you know, I had a couple other brands of sergers to start with around 1998, and they just drove me crazy because they didn't make sense. You know, having to do a one looper a certain way, you know, do it for, you know, thread it first and then the other one, because if you didn't, they wouldn't work. And then when I happened to see the Baby Lock booth at a sewing expo in Puyallup, which is a town around Seattle, it made so much sense when that woman put the thread in the hole and shot it through. It just blew my mind. And I said, I have to have this right now. And she said, well, you don't know what it costs. And I said, I don't care. I really wanted that. I didn't know that it was a combination machine because I was pretty green on sergers at that time. And it made so much sense. And like I said, I was brand new, but 2 months later, I got a job teaching on them at that store that was represented at the fair. And that's how easy it was. It made so much sense. And I just took right off. So here I am.
Well, you know, Baby Lock has been leading the way for a long time with sergers because they're the first that came out with the air threading serger.
Right.
And they had a patent on it for many years, you know, and since it's run out. And now, you know, you see like the other brands kind of following suit.
Exactly.
But Baby Lock has still got that little bit of an edge, I feel like. And you know, their sergers, that air threader was just a game changer because we would charge people. They would come in, we would charge them a charge to thread their sergers.
Right.
We used to offer a service where you could come in and we would thread your serger up. So Baby Lock with the air threading ruined our little side business.
I'm sure it did, but I'll tell you, it gained you many more customers in other ways.
Oh yes, 100%.
The ease of it is incredible, and it's such a no-brainer. That's what it is to me. It's a no-brainer, and I actually prefer this one, even though the patent ran out for the air jet threading. I prefer this because it's easy, it's streamlined, it's trustworthy and reliable. So I never have to worry about putting in a setting or a motherboard going out or anything else. I prefer this one. And
something too with the Baby Lock, their needles are perfectly straight up and down.
That's right.
90 degrees. and they have a ton of punching power. So that's one of the things that it kind of separates them too. You can put them through so many layers of jeans, whatever you want to do because of that punching power.
That's right.
Because some of the sergers, the needles are on slight angle.
Yes.
And Baby Lock's not, so that's why they have so much punching power on them. So, hey, Rosemary, we're going to let you get started on your project and tell everybody about this great serger we're talking about today, the Triumph. And I'll see you back here in a few minutes.
Okay, sounds great. All right. Hi, everybody. So I'm making a small lined bag this morning because it's not only simple, you still have to follow the good directions for them, but you can have something completely finished in a half hour, starting from when you press your fabrics and get it cut out to actually completing the bag. It's done in a heartbeat. And so it kind of makes you feel a little bit more productive. Plus you get to use a specialty foot on the serger, which is for this bag, we're using the P5 foot, meaning piping 5mm foot. And for the project today, let's see, I'll show you. I've done it in different stages. So through the magic of doing things at home in stages, rather than making the whole thing from cutting it out, this will simplify things for you. But it's going to be a lined bag. This is one of them with a zipper. And then you've got your full lining inside. And these are great for anything. I make a lot of these. I make them for my grandkids to put supplies in it for school. I make them for a community. We have little gift baskets that we give away to neighbors called a neighborly act of kindness. And so I include these. And they're just a really great utility bag. And the best part is, even though the directions might say use 12 by 8 piece of fabric, you can make them any size that you want, depending on the zipper. So the zipper is going to sort of guide you. So if you have a whole lot of zippers that are, say, 14 inches, which is pretty much the standard of what I like to use, because I can make a bag with, 12-inch opening, 10-inch, 9, because these are nylon zippers and the blade of a serger will serge right through it. Not the pull end, but the end of this, it'll serge right through. So this is the thing that will determine the size of your bag, is just merely your zipper. I buy these in bulk in a variety of colors, so they will match most every fabric that I have. And I'm getting down, so I need to get more so I can make a whole lot more bags. So first, choose the zipper. I'm going to be using 12 by 8 piece of fabric or pieces of fabric because this is the size of zippers, the size of zippers that I have. But it's really up to you. You can make whatever size you want. If you want to make one with a 6-inch zipper, you can. So it doesn't matter. The main thing is use a size 3 or a 5 zipper. Don't use a big sports zipper. If you sewed it together around the edges with a sewing machine, that's one thing. But a serger blade won't go through the big sports zippers. You can merely attach them is all. So I'm going to get started. Bear with me while I move my camera to show you what we're going to be doing. And I have it also in stages. I'm going to be putting together a green one for you, sort of. And then we're going to finish with this one. The reason I did this one is to show you that you can embellish your fabric first with your cover stitches and chain stitches. So the white fabric here with snowflakes, which is apropos because we have about 5 inches of snow today, is all decorated with cover stitch. This one, this side, and this. Both of these are the outer bag. The inside is some black batik that happens to have snowflakes on it as well. You can use either side is right. So I'm going to be finishing up with this one, just in the interest of time to save on that. So this is the one we'll be putting together in a bit. So bear with me while I move my camera. And I'll show you what we're going to be doing. Now, hopefully you won't take a tumble on the floor. Let's see here. And I hope you can see what I'm doing here. So first you're going to be taking your, with these two fabrics I've got, this is my lining fabric here. A little bit of pattern on one side, plain on the other. I'm going to be laying this down face up. On the edge, I have put in, I pressed in a piece of Steam-A-Seam 2, And I'll tell you why I do that. It's to avoid having to clip or pin the zippers because I don't want my edge being distorted as I serge it. I think you can see that okay. Let me turn the serger off for a moment. There we go. So hopefully you can still see this. So this is my, oops, get this a little bit better. Okay. Let me hold it up. So this is the line side with the Steam Machine 2 on it. Then I'm going to take my zipper, which I won't be using a red one, but I could. I'm going to lay it down and match up the edges of my fabric to my zipper. By using the Steam Machine 2, it would hold this in place. But when you're using a serger, make sure that you have about 3 inches or so sticking out on the edge where the zipper pull is. Because this, you're going to be starting your serger at this edge, and you want to make sure that this tab does not hit the foot. So you're going to be laying that out. You can press it in place. Then you'll be laying your top fabric, your outer bag. You're going to use that also pretty side down, right side down. And again, lining up the edges with your zipper. And let me know if you can't see this very good. It's hard to do this and watch comments, but I hope you can see this. Okay, so then you're going to serge right along here. Now I've got another piece. You grab it here where I've already attached it. So I fuse it in place. So once it's fused in, when I open it up, this is what I'm going to be having. So I'm going to be serging this zipper in. Now on here, I have my P5 foot because it has a channel right here. And the zipper, the teeth have to ride inside this channel. Don't try this without this foot because it will squish too hard on the zipper and will move your fabric around. So make sure you use this one. My machine is set up for a 3-thread narrow. If any of you have had my books or taken my classes, in that I did mention to use a 4-thread. However, when I use a 4-thread, I know how to guide this zipper really well so my left needle doesn't hit the zipper. But for safety's sake, I switched to a 3-thread narrow to make sure that nobody sews their zipper closed, because that has happened when the stitches have gotten onto the zipper teeth, and we don't want that happening. So as you can see, my lining fabric, my zipper, and my outer bag fabric all sandwiched in. And believe me, some type of tape like a Steam Machine 2 1/4 inch or Wonder tape helps a great deal. So now I'm going to raise my foot. I'm going to put the zipper underneath here, or the fabric and zipper underneath here, starting with the edge of the fabric right before the foot. And you'll notice that when I put my foot down, the tab does not hit, that pull does not hit my foot. My zipper teeth are right underneath this channel here. And then I start to serge. I like to put my finger along the edge here as a guide to make sure that it, just in case it doesn't scoot over at all. When you get to the end, just keep going straight off. Be very careful when you put these in to make sure that the needle does not hit this little tab at the end, because that is metal or a hard plastic and it will break your needles. So there we have one side stitched down. When I open it up, I have an outer side and my lining side. Then I'm going to turn this over. At this point, I would go press this. But again, in the interest of time, I'm not going to press this right now. But I would press this to make sure there's no bulk at the teeth of the zipper here. Now, again, I'm going to lay this down. I want to have my lining side up. Now I'm going to take my other fabrics here, my lining, face down on top of the zipper. Once again, lining up the edges. And if you're using the tape, you can clip it in place until you get to the iron, just to keep the pieces together. Okay, then I want to put my other piece on top here, and I'm going to serge that when I'm finished and open it up here. I will have my lining pieces here and my outer pieces will be here. So I am going to go ahead and serge this. Just have to get it together here. And make sure that when you're doing this, that the edges of your fabric are all matched up. You don't want to have it uneven when you get this serged. So I'm going to go through here, go ahead and serge that. And now again, in the interest of time, I'm going to not serge this one, but by magic, I'm going to show you this one because I've serged it in this side. And like I said, this is the outer side. This is the lining side. When you get to that point, press again. Pressing is super important whenever you're making anything, whether it be a serger or a sewing machine. That can make or break your product or the project that you're making sure that you press it. Now, I've taken this to my sewing machine. If you can see right along here, I top stitched this with some thread on both sides. How far apart you make it from the zipper is up to you. You can even use your cover stitch machine if you want and do 2 rows here with a wide cover stitch. It's up to you. Now, when you get to this part here, after you've top stitched it, you want to take your 2 outer pieces and line them up. And with this one, I'm going to go ahead and clip. I like using Wonder clips here, making sure that since if you use your chain or cover stitch here to decorate it, make sure that you have your little edges here on the outside. You don't want to have them showing on the inside when you're through. So you're going to clip this all the way around. This is the point where you'll be able to tell whether you lined your edges up right when you put your second side of that zipper on. Because if not, and if you get it uneven, it's not the end of the world. Just square it off with your ruler and serge along with your right needle along that line that you've drawn. Now I'm coming to the lining side, but what do I do about this zipper bulk? I'm going to fold this zipper towards the lining. But first, one of the main things I want to do is, which I almost forgot to tell you, is open your zipper. So let's open this up because we don't want to sew our bag. And I've had people do this. I think I've done it once, did it once, and I wouldn't do it again. Open up your zipper. There we go. Otherwise, if you don't open that zipper up, you're going to, you'll never be able to use your bag. Okay, so now I'm going to fold the zipper together towards the lining and see all that zipper tape sticking out. We don't have to worry about that because it's going to be all serged off. I hope you can see this okay. I know it's a little bit strange with the way I have to have my camera, but we'll make it. Now, with this one, I would normally serge all the way around and leave a 5-inch opening on the bottom of the lining because I would need to turn this. So again, in the interest of time, I'm only going to serge a little bit. I'm not going to take this to the sewing machine and sew it up for you, but I do want to show you how you would turn it. So making sure that you are all, oops, there we go. And I'm only going to cut off a little bit. So to me, it doesn't really matter how much I cut off, but long as I'm even all the way around. So I'm going to serge with the edge of my fabric here right along the blade. And I know that's a little hard to see, but I'm lining up the edge, the fabric with my blade. So I am trimming some of this off because I don't want these tails to be stuck. To tell you the truth, half the time I don't use pins and clips. I tell my students to, but I don't always because I just can sew actually almost better without them. Just keeping the fabric lined up. Now here comes my zipper. So I'm gonna, that blade you notice chewed right through it. If you have any questions, we'll try to get to those when I'm through here, since I can't see the comments. Now notice when you put that zipper towards the lining, you will be going over 2 layers of that zipper and the teeth, and it's really okay. And I'll give you a little hint. On these sergers, on the overlock side, you can really use any needle you want. I use top stitching needles because it goes through the zipper tape a lot easier. I do not use the ELX 705 needle on the overlock side at all, ever. And because I use needles that fit the fabric. And if you take my classes, then I tell you about needles for the cover stitch side as well, because I'm very big on using the right needles for the right project. I could be fancy and turn corners right now, but I really don't want to. So no need to turn the corners fancy. I'm going to stop here, pivot my fabric. And I will close this up later with the sewing machine. And remember, if you have any little thread tails at the corners, clip those off. Don't panic over it though, because they're going to be totally encased inside it. If you like and your stitch is wide enough, you can actually trim your corners. If you trim your corners at an angle here, then put fray block or something so they don't come unravel. Now I'm going to find the opening of my bag that I left. At this point, I would also press this again. Like I said, I believe in a lot of pressing. Okay. And then just turn this right side out. You can use a pressing tool to, not a turning tool to get those corners poked out good. Now, once you do this, once you get to this part here, then you would fold in the edge of your lining here. I didn't serge quite far enough over, but I would just turn the lining in, and I would take this to the sewing machine and sew along the bottom edge like that. Just put a stitch in there, kind of close to the edge, about 1/8 of an inch away. Once you're through, you stuff that inside there, and you have a really nice little lined bag. You can put in a tab if you wish. Here's a tab on one of them here on this bag. This was totally done on the serger as well, using the belt loop maker. So you can add a tab. This type of little tab was put, it's a belt loop, 2 belt loops that I put together and then fused them, inserted them in. I'll show you how I do this since we've got time. So before I'd sew it up, I'd put it in, lay it inside the seam with the tab on the facing the right side of the bag. And when you serge it all up, turn it right back out, you've got a nice little handle on it. And they can be made out of just scraps of fabric, anything you wish. But bags are a lot of fun to do. So this is the type of thing. This only took me about a half hour to make. One thing I did do as well is I stabilized the fabrics on both sides to give it a little bit of body. But here we've got a really cute little bag that you can make as gifts really, really fast. And so I happen to really like these bags a lot. You can use different zippers. You can get some that have like little metal poles and stuff, but that's how you put together a little bag. And it's pretty fast doing it this way. So I said, if those of you who have taken
Well, looks like we lost Rosemary. I think she knocked her camera off and unplugged it. So hopefully she'll come back in. So what I wanted to tell everybody out there, if you got a question for Rosemary, go ahead, just hold your questions for a second. And when we get her on there, you can start asking them and Andrew will put them on the screen and I'll read them off to her. But I want her to, we'll get a little Q&A session with Rosemary before we let her get out of here. And hopefully she'll get logged back in. She's coming back in, Andrew says, right now. So hopefully as soon as she gets in, we'll get her back on and get the Q&A session going. I don't know what happened to her.
I don't know.
I think she unplugged herself or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, what did y'all think about the serger? I know that, some of you probably have the Triumph. And if you do have the Triumph, I want you to right now put in the chat a number 1 if you already have the Triumph. And after you put the number 1, I want you to tell us, what you think about it. Because I'm telling you, most people that I've ever talked to, when they get the Triumph, they absolutely love that thing. And it's the best serger they've ever purchased at all. So, all right. Hey, we got her back.
I don't know what happened to it. It just, all of a sudden, the webpage turned to Sewing with Annie or something. So.
Well, hey, what we want to do, Rosemary, is I'm going to open the chat up right now for questions for you, and I'll read them off to you when they come in. Andrew's going to put them up on the screen for us. So if y'all have got a question for Rosemary right now, go ahead and put it in the chat. Here's our first one. Oh, that's Andrew putting it up there. All right, so make sure that y'all put it in the chat right now if you have any kind of questions for sergers for Rosemary, and hopefully she'll try to answer for you. I saw some coming through. So if you've already put a question in before, go ahead and repeat it and do it again so we can see it now. I want to make sure we can answer any questions that you have out there. And but Rosemary, you make it look awful easy.
It is. It's very easy to do these. Like I said, I make them a lot, and so I try to cut out several at the same time so I can make several bags, but it's pretty easy. It really is.
You know, that's something I noticed that would be such a good gift to be able to give people the little bag that you made. And you said it took 30 minutes to make it. I mean, so
Right.
you can sit there in a day and just make a ton of bags to give away.
Yes.
So we have our first question from Dee Dee Haskins. It says, what are the stitch length and width settings that you are using?
The stitch length is between a 2.5 and 3, and the stitch width is a 6.5. And at 6.5 and 4.0 are actually the same setting. One depends on the left needle, whether you use it, one's the right needle. But so it'll say 6.5 or 4.0, and that's the stitch width, which is pretty good width.
The other thing I saw too, Rosemary, is if you could, before we let you go, could we get you to demonstrate how to thread, using air threading on it?
Oh, sure, you bet.
All right, so Margie says, what is the name of that serger? It's called a Triumph, Margie. It is called a Triumph, Baby Lock Triumph serger, and it's the air threader. And the Baby Lock Triumph is the top of the line serger that Baby Lock has. And it is incredible. So yeah, let's get this camera setting.
Let's see, I think you can see it
Even
pretty
maybe,
good there?
can you get a little closer, maybe,
Let me see if I
Rosemary?
can get a little bit closer here. There we go.
Yeah, that should work good right
That ought
there.
to be better.
So
Okay.
y'all hold your questions just for a second, and we'll come back to you and say, you know, put your questions in. But right now, Rosemary I wanted her to show everybody how easy this thing is to thread with the air threading. And I'm just going to be quiet real quick and let Rosemary take it away.
Okay. So this is the world's easiest serger to use. And I hope you guys can hear me good. I have music playing in the background on the computer. I'm not quite sure why, but there's, as you can see, there's no tensions here. These are a different type of threading where the tension is all automatic. And these are my cone holders back here. So right now I have it set up for a 3 thread. So I just put my thread up here. Make sure your precious foot here is raised up. So put it there. Because there's no regular threading, tension dials to go through, you have threading foot here. So I'm going to lock the cords. There we go. So I have tubes here. I have tubes that lock right here. And so I'm going to put my thread right here. Okay, so I'm going to put this one here right inside this little hole. And I hit this little button and my looper is threaded. Just a second here, I need to turn one of these off. Okay. All right. I put the thread now in the next one. Get that through. Okay. 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 Hopefully you can still see me here. Okay, now this has got a automatic needle threader. So now that my tubes are locked, I'm going to push this lever down. I'm going to hold my thread up. I hold the thread up here. I push this button. Let me do that one more time. A second here. It's and I raise this up and it's threaded. So that's how easy it is to thread this machine. Okay. Then I open up my tubes. This part is ready. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. If you guys can hear me, I'm I'm having some technical difficulties here. I'm not sure if it's because we're having bad weather or what, but let's see. Blake, I seem to have, Blaine, I seem to have lost you for some reason. Okay, can you guys hear me okay? There you go.
Marianne, we can hear you.
Oh, good. I keep losing you for some reason, and it was playing the beginning of the show over. So there you go. So did you see the threading okay?
Yeah. It was perfect. A little hard because the lights are so bright on that Triumph. It was kind of hard to see. Really, but so let's go ahead and open it back up for questions with everybody. Okay. If you've got a question,
there we go.
Question, go ahead and do it. So Carly is asking, what are the titles of your books?
Oh, I'll show you here. I wrote these a few years ago. This one has been about 6-7 years ago, and it's Roma's Serger University Group, and I have that. I sent the link to that to Andrew. So this is my first one, and this, when you're working with this in the workshops, I have separate Facebook groups that are specifically designed for these, where I teach on I teach it live. And it's over the course of about 3 days. So, and that you end up with a big notebook full of all the techniques that are in here. And this takes you through a couple of different feet. And then, actually, I'm sorry, this was the first one, the Roma Serger University. And then this one was the last one I wrote just before COVID hit. And this is the foot and accessory guide. And to my knowledge, it's the only foot and accessory guide that is out. Baby Lock has one that shows you the different feet and a little bit about them. This is in complete detail, how to use every single foot. And you do a sample with every single foot and attachment. You learn how to make them and then or use them. And then you make a small project at the end. And this is also a separate class. These particular ones are out for press right now. So I'll be expecting those in about a week. And so what you do is you get the books, and then I sign you up for those Facebook groups, and then you enter and watch the videos at your leisure. And I'm planning now to do some separate projects as well in my group. I took about a year and a half off for some family things, and now I'm back to eager to get going again.
All right. So We have any more questions?
Mhm.
Okay, let's put it up there. This is from, who is it, Daryl? Darlene, I'm sorry, Darlene. What stitch do you use for decorative stitches?
Oh my gosh, I could use almost every single one. You can use the 4-thread overlock, 3-thread, rolled hem. All those you can make creative, decorative, depending on the thread that you're using in the application. 4-thread is about the only one that is not necessarily decorative. That is a utility stitch, but the rest of them are decorative, just depending on the thread. And then the cover stitch and chain stitch, depending again on what needles that you use and what thread, depends on how, what type of stitch you get. With this bag, with this one, I use the narrow cover hem with designer 8 thread in it. And then I use the chain stitch for these with another color of designer 8 on all these. But it really is anything, I'd say, from a 3-thread, narrow or wide on the overlock, and any combination on the cover stitch side you can use. Wide, you can use all 3, C1, 2, and 3, or just the chain stitch. So it's up to you. And the fun thing about it is being creative and just stitching out on some fabric. When you prepare your fabric, make sure you use stabilizer. Otherwise, you will not like the results. And just be creative and have fun with your serger.
Okay. All right. Our next question is from Celeste Wall. She says, do you secure your beginning by bringing your thread tail over and sewing over it? And then how do you secure it at the end?
I really don't do that on most of the edges because most of them are going to be crossed over again. And if I do that for the last seam, then I can flip it over and stitch again. Or what I like to do is use Fray Block by June Taylor. It's a very good product. And I will put it on, let it dry, pinch it, and then I cut it off. And so I don't have to worry about flipping my fabric over. But that is one method that you can use. So there's a few different ones like that. Flipping it over is a good one. Serging over your thread tail is another one.
Okay. Another question, I think it's Jones asking, what fabric do you use for your bags?
Quilting cottons. I love quilting cottons. Another one I use is ultra suede. This was actually an ultra suede jacket, and I took it apart, and it was a jacket and a skirt. I like to find garments that are ultra suede and use these because it makes a beautiful bag. And this one is all decorated with chain stitches. This was just random. This was something I was playing with the serger with. And I actually left the seams here and used those in the decoration of the bag. So this was actually a side seam. And I made one of the stitches hiccuped. So I threw a few little rhinestones on it to cover it up and thought, well, I think I'll just put a lot more rhinestones on it to make this so it looks like a design element. So you can use anything. Another one is cork. I love using cork, and you can use cork on the serger as well and use decorative stitches on that. I do use top stitch needles when I use this. And this again is a lined bag with a cork handle. So all kinds of fabrics you can use. I don't use knit. That's the main thing I don't use is any knits.
Okay. Next question is Marsha's asking what number was the foot that you're using again?
It is P5. The 8-thread sergers have a 5mm foot. The 4-thread sergers have 2, which is called a P3 and a P5. And that indicates the millimeter of the piping that you're going to be using, or because that's why they're called a piping foot, and different cords. So that just determines that. So you don't make something, you don't use too large of cording. Like you don't want to use something that would be meant for you've seen pillows and all that have a really thick edge of the cording. And so you don't want to use that. But 5mm is pretty good for this one.
All right, we got another question from Jennifer. It says, how do you handle the pull when you open zipper to, what's that? Serve? Can't read it. Serve.
Oh, so when it's put together, and you are trying to open the zipper, you just lay it flat and open up the zipper halfway, and making sure that you do that. Otherwise, like I said, if you don't open it, you will, when you serge it, you will be cutting off the tab part and you'll never be able to open your bag. So just as you, after you've sewn both sides to your zipper, and before you enclose it, and then when you top stitch it, open that bag at that point, at least halfway down, so you'll be able to get it open. That's one of the crucial parts of making a bag, is because that's happened many times with people, is forgetting to open that bag, and you've really wasted a nice little bag in your time. And here's another tiny one in the round, and this is all decorated. I don't think you can see it too good, but this has got cover stitches, chain stitches all over it with a decorative little pull. And this is like a little bag to put anything in. So cell phone, earbuds, anything in here. So bags are fun.
Okay, Rosemary, next question is from Dorothy. She says, do you prefer a number 3 or number 5 zipper?
Actually, it's whatever one I can get, really. They're both good. The 3 is just a bit smaller, and they're both called a dress zipper. But the majority of them I do get are number 5, just nothing larger than that. And again, any size that you want, making sure it's a nylon zipper, but either one is good.
Okay, Gail is asking, what is your favorite decorative stitch?
Oh my gosh, that's hard to say. There are so many. One thing I like to do is create new stitches. So I like to take a wide cover hem with one thread, and then serge down the middle of it with a chain stitch. And also, that's the cover stitch side, but I also like to use on the overlock side flat locking, and I flat lock quite often. And one of these days I'll do a show here where you can see flat locking, and then I will take different types of threads, such as a 3-weight, and I weave it. And after I've woven it, and I'll put in about 4 threads on the weave them through, and I do one that looks like a watch chain. And so it'll look like, just a watch chain. I can't really call it a chain stitch, but that's one of my new favorites to do, because flat lock, you can be incredibly versatile with that.
Okay, Elaine's asking, was a stabilizer used for stiffness or because you did the fancy stitches?
Both. So anytime you are doing the decorative stitches, you have to have stabilizer on the back of your fabric, just like embroidery. Anytime that you are building up thread on top of fabric, you have to have a foundation. I happen to use a fusible poly mesh on here by OESD, because if you can see the back of my door, which I don't know if you can see very well, if I move my head, that is all full of stabilizers. So I use something that's pliable, also to give the bag a little bit a better hand, so it's not so flimsy that way. And I stabilize, I believe, both lining and the outer bag. If you're making something pretty heavy, like with this ultra suede, I did not use the stabilizer on here, or a couple other bags that I've got that are heavy, like this is home decor fabric, this particular one, so I didn't need to use it. But sometimes you do, depending on the fabric. It might have a bit of a stretch, like even denim. And so I would do, the main thing is to do a test first and to see whether your fabric puckers or not. If it puckers, use a stabilizer.
Okay. Betsy's asking, how often do you need to change the blades?
Hardly ever.
I don't remember ever changing them.
Yeah, I really don't. These blades are a special metal, and the lower blade is designed to last a lot longer than the upper blade. And they're a carbon steel, I believe, and they last so long. My Triumph is probably, well, see, I got it when it came out, so it's been Blaine like 7 years.
Yeah, 7 or 8 years.
I've never changed the blade on this. And I'll tell you the main reason why: I don't sew over pins. I don't sew over anything that's going to make a nick in my blade. Because if you do sew over a pin, you've got to kiss both blades goodbye. and there's no sharpening of them. If you do need to change your blade, please don't do it by yourself at home, even though the back of the manual shows you how. Take it to your dealer,
Yes.
because they know how to calibrate the machine with the new blades. Otherwise, it just won't cut right. So I would never attempt, in all my experience and years of using my serger, I would never change the blades by myself.
Yeah, I think that's the only time I know our service departments changed them, when somebody has nicked them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really the only time, because they stay sharp for so long. But you'll know if you sew a lot of fleece. Like, I know people who get a serger and they make fleece blankets all year for various reasons, like for charity and so forth. Fleece will dull your blades a lot quicker than any other fabric, because of the type of polyester it is. And a flame retardant fabric does as well, because of the coating on it. So if you're not cutting through, say, 4 layers of quilting cotton nicely, if it starts to chew it, then you need to get new blades. But seriously, you can go for years without doing that.
Okay, Joan is asking, where did you get the zippers in bulk and what size?
Amazon. So I buy Amazon zippers because I like YYK zippers. You can get them in bulk on there. You can get, I can't remember how many it is, but maybe 30 for under $20. And so far, I've never had any issues with any of the zippers I've bought on there. Yeah, there's quite a few, and I get a variety of colors, so I can use them for, you know, any fabrics that I have. And I have a lot of fabric.
All right, says, so Francis says, could you use the chain stitch for the top stitching instead of going back to the sewing machine?
Yes, you could. It would entail setting up your machine, you know, for the cover stitch, but really it is so quick on these machines. It only takes a couple of minutes from the time you want to take your machine from overlock to cover stitch. It only takes about 2 minutes flat to do that. And so yes, you can do that for a more decorative edge. So instead of I use metallic thread on here, which is one by Madeira, which is a soft metallic thread. But if I wanted this stitch along the side of the zipper, I know you can't see that too well, but if I wanted that to be this chain stitch, all I got to do is set my machine up for it. So really easy.
Well, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
This is a great question, okay?
Okay.
All right. So what would you tell anybody out there that's watching right now, if they are kind of been wanting a serger, they're on the fence about a serger, what would you tell them to encourage them about the Triumph?
I would tell them that it's a serger that would probably last them a lifetime. I'm not kidding, because they're that amazing. You have a very low maintenance issue with these. I take mine in for cleaning once in a while, but otherwise I do the maintenance myself. And because it's dependable, reliable, and you'll never have to worry about broken threads, broken needles, if you do everything right with it. And yeah, so I can't trust any other serger to give me the results that I can with a Baby Lock.
All right. Well, Rosemary, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Been great having you here. Good seeing you again. It's been too long.
It has been too long. I love this. So you've got me up and running again. And so it's been too long. So I look forward to doing this again for you. And good luck with all the things that you've got coming up. I wish I could attend many of those. I would just have to get dog babysitters and to go out. But yeah, so it's fun doing this again. Thank you very much for having me, Blaine.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll see you soon. Okay.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All righty. Okay, everybody. You heard it right from the expert, all the different things that the Baby Lock Serger will do. Well, let's talk a little bit about this. So we've got a great special on this. You see the price on it right there is $49.99. This thing is normally $74.99. That's the retail, the MSRP on it is $74.99. We've got it at $49.99. We're also going to give you a $499 gift card with purchase. So if you purchase this, you're going to give gift card, and we have some financing available. So right now, get on the phone, give us a call, 800-401-8151. And they can tell you about all the different options and things that we do have going today with this. But it is a really good call-in special. So make sure y'all get on the phones and give them a call. Again, last serger you'll ever buy. And this is going to last a lifetime. I mean, this thing I think it's been out about 8 years, and it was from the get-go, it has been just a really good serger. And I can't tell you how many serger events that we've done with this machine, and people have purchased it and they have just loved it from the start. And so I highly encourage you, if you're on the fence about a serger right now, you've been thinking about one, get on that phone and call them. Now, again, let's look at that price. If just because this is the top of the line doesn't mean we don't have other Baby Lock air thread sergers. So we have a whole lineup of air thread sergers by Baby Lock at all different kind of price points too, that'll do a lot of different things. So when you get on that phone, if you're interested in a serger, get on there and call them right now. We're having call-in specials on all the sergers today. So just in celebration of Rosemary being on our show. So give them a call, see what they got, they can help you with, and I think you won't be disappointed. Also, I want to talk a little bit about a couple of machines from Baby Lock that we have on special. And we have the Meridian 2, I can't even read my own writing. Let me see if I can read my writing. The Array, which is the 10 needle. No, the Array is a 6 needle, isn't it? Yeah, 6 needle. The Bloom, the Vista, and the Aerial. So that would be the Meridian 2, the Aerial, the Array, the Vista, and the Bloom. All 5 of those Baby Lock machines are on sale right now. They got a really good special on them. And I can't remember when it ends, but it ends pretty soon. So when? 24th. The 24th. All right. So it's going to end 26th. Andrew's saying the 26th now. So the 26th. So it's going to be ending pretty soon. So if y'all are interested in any of those machines as well, if you've been, thinking about a 6 needle, if you've been thinking about any of these sewing or embroidery machines, get on the phone and give them a call right now, because we have great specials on those. They're on sale and probably really close to maybe being the best price of the year, because Baby Lock did what they call a MAP holiday, meaning they reduced the MAP price on them for them. Plus, we also have an SMP special on them as well. So get on that phone, give them a call. If you're interested in those 5 machines, or if you're interested in a serger today would be the day to call for a serger. And I'll tell you what, the Triumph is a great price today. And again, it's going to be the last serger you'll ever buy. But anyway, that's it for the day. I think that was a really good explanation of some of the sergers, especially for the short period of time. We could go into a lot of depth and a lot more time, but hopefully that you got to see a little hint of it, and Rosemary was able to answer some of your questions. All right. So if y'all have any more questions, get on that phone, 800-401-8151. Give them a call at the call center, and they can help answer your questions, and they can tell you all about the specials that are going on today. All right. That is the end of our show. Are y'all ready to win some prizes? I think I want to give something away, Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So first up, we're going to give away is a $25 gift card to SMP. And if you win this, we're going to email you a gift card code, and at checkout, you can put $25 or the gift card code in, and it'll save you $25. And what's awesome about that, let's just say that you end up wanting to get a serger that's already on special. After all the deals, all the specials, you can put this in at the checkout, and it's going to save you $25 more. So it's pretty awesome. So Andrew, spin that wheel. Gloria Randall is watching today from YouTube. So congratulations, Gloria. How to claim that prize, Gloria, you need to go to smplive.tv. Scroll down toward the bottom of the page where it says claim my prize. Fill out all that information complete. Hit submit. Once we get that information in, we will email you back a gift card code, and you'll be able to save $25 off your purchase. All right, next up, we're going to give away one of our world famous sew mats. We're going to let you pick your size, your color. And so, Andrew, spin that wheel. We have 13 different sizes and four sizes and 13 different colors to choose from. I'll get it right. Here we go. Sandy Duke postal weight. So Sandy is watching today from Facebook. So congratulations, Sandy. You just won yourself a sew mat. So Sandy, to claim that prize, we need you to go to smplive.tv. Scroll down toward the bottom of the page where it says claim my prize, fill out all that information complete, hit submit, and then most importantly in the notes section, before you hit submit, just put in what color and what size of sew mat you want, and once we get that information, we'll get it right out to you. All right, speaking of sew mats, I've got to tell y'all about the new sew mats that are coming. We have 3 new sew mats that are coming. They're going to be red that match Janome, Bernina, gold, which it matches the Baby Lock, and we have the blue, which matches Brother. All 3 of them are a new big size called double XL, and they are made to fit these brand new top-of-the-line machines that have gotten so big. And these are specifically made for the Brother, Baby Lock, the Janome, Bernina, Pfaff, and Viking new top-of-the-line machines. And they're 24 inches, I guess, tall and 45 inches wide. So they're going to be really big, so your machine can fit on there. They're going to be 3/16 inches thick, and they are already in production. We got them all finalized. They're in production, so hopefully we'll get to see those. I am hoping by the 1st of March they'll be in. So keep your fingers crossed that we make it. And but as soon as we get them in, we'll show them to you, and you'll get to see them. And we'll have some pictures for you sitting on some of the new machines so you can see how well they fit. So those are coming, just like, because I know people have been emailing me asking me when we're going to have them for the big machines. So you can thank Cindy Hogan. Cindy Hogan called me and said, Blaine, I need a mat for my new Brother Avenir. And I said, well, I don't have them yet. So she kind of pushed me to get them going. So I said, I'll get on it right now and finish the project. I'd been kind of procrastinating a little bit. So anyway, thanks Cindy Hogan for that. All right, next up, we are going to give away 2 of the Brother P-Touch label makers. Now, this thing is pretty awesome because it actually connects to your Bluetooth, via Bluetooth to your smartphone, and it has an app, so you can do all your work on your phone and then just hit print, and it prints it right out on the thing. I'm going to give 2 people one of these, plus I'm going to give you, I think, 7 or 8, is it 9, of tape, a bunch of extra tape. And I know it's $100 worth of tape. It's about that. It's a lot of. I think it's $100 worth of tape. So basically, you're getting about a $300. Well, probably not that much, but $250 prize today, probably $230, $250. Anyway, this is a really awesome thing. You can label all your stuff in your sew room, do different things with it, and the tape we're going to send you is in different colors and different sizes and stuff. So it's pretty cool. All right, Andrew, let's get our first winner. So spin that wheel. Leslie Gardner. So Leslie is watching today from YouTube. So congratulations to Leslie. You just won yourself a Brother P-Touch. Okay, let's go ahead and get our second winner. Then I'll tell them how they can get their prizes. Joanne Hall, watching today from YouTube. So congratulations, Joanne. So Leslie, Joanne, this is how you're going to claim your prize. You're going to go to smplive.tv, scroll down toward the bottom of the page where it says claim my prize, fill out all that information complete, hit submit, and we'll get Leslie's and Joanne's P-Touch label maker and extra tape sent right out to you. There you go. All right, everybody. Thank y'all for joining in today. Hey, another great show. And I thought Rosemary did a great job, and always good to see her. It's been a while. Guys, again, remember, next Tuesday will be our Takeover Tuesday. Make sure y'all tune into that, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central. I'll be back here on Thursday. We got another great show lined up for you. It'll be at 10 a.m. Thursday or Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central. There's some of the guests that are coming up. We got Lisa Archer with Pickle Pie Designs on my show. And then on the 11th will be Carly Bell next Tuesday. So y'all make sure y'all tune in. Thank y'all so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And we'll see y'all next week.